something you're more familiar with here. Yeah. Check it out. Nobody's scared, nobody's scared. Close doors, every willing to fight fair. I'm so close, I can feel it, I'm right here, but still can't tell if it's a dream or a nightmare. Time's up, though I'm out the door. Hit the show up, smoke just a bounce and go. I can feel it in my bones, I'm about to blow. But there are homies, so they go, no doubt for sure. We got you, bro. Know what's your talent and passion. Every day you were writing, there's a kind of reaction. Never down in the slack, and it's bound to be rabid. Put yourself in a position and allow it to happen. No excuses, it's up to me. Premonitions as a teen who I've come to be. Pulling blunts of the tree as a flunk to beast. Whether a flunk is like seas, really up to me. Gotta put away the bone that I hide from all. Gotta write another song for my mind is gone. So I rhyme along because my grind is strong. Every the 9 times, 10 times a charm. Persistence, needless to say. Learn to adapt, turn weakness to strength. Cause the time is now to find your style. To rhyme to crowds, for encore smiles and bows. Your mind is the blockage, deprived in the process. Surviving through conflict, surviving your confidence. Your rhyme, this time is with God, is your conscience. Aside with the nonsense, the prosperous. Your mind is the blockage, deprived in the process. Surviving through conflict, surviving your confidence. Your rhyme, this time is with God, is your conscience. Aside with the nonsense, the prosperous. I got this, yeah. Yo, it's just, yeah. Whatever you're pursuing in life, yo, all it takes is just one shot, yeah. All it takes is just, yeah. Check out the dope motorcycles we got pulling up right in front of me here. In front of the New York State's Arts Bank here, my man Alan Action. I go by the name of SC Static. We're repping Bud Fowler, first African-American professional baseball player, about 30 to 40 years before Jackie Robinson. 1878 was the year. And if you like, I can get to the song we did in his honor. Yeah. Just one shot. Tonight, we got live comedy. We got baseball cards honoring Bud Fowler and Thurman Munson. If anybody like a copy, come up and grab one. Representing Bud Fowler, baseball icon, John W. Jackson, who was born in Fort Plain, New York. We're not just doing this randomly. Yeah. All right, can I do one more? All right, so basically me and Alan Action here, who owns this bank and converted it into a venue place to hold events for the community. That's how I met him. I've been here, it's like my 4th time performing here. And we got fashion models that come here every time. We got other musicians, other genres of music. We had an off-shoot Broadway play that was done here also, called the, what was it called? The Wildfire Dogs. And that might be on Broadway sooner than you think, which is pretty dope. But we're honoring Bud Fowler, specifically in Fort Plain, New York. Like I said, we got his baseball cards here if anybody's interested. And we did a song and a music video in honor of him called Showed the Way, because he showed the way for a lot of people who had to play in the Negro Leagues and basically weren't allowed to play the sport that they love due to the color of their skin, which is unfortunate, but that's the reality that he had to go through. And not only that, but he didn't get any of the recognition he deserved. He's about to get inducted into the Hall of Fame though this year, thankfully, due to my man Alan Action for being very persistent and believing in this man's story. And ironically, is right next door to Cooperstown here. So this guy was born to play baseball, and his story is crazy, the things he went through. He even had to wear wooden slats in his pant legs because they would try to spike him so hard when he was sliding to the bases. And, you know, they played dirty. They would even find ways to find him illegally and get him kicked off baseball teams. He pretty much lived like nomadically from team to team, played on over 30 to 40 professional teams within like a 15-year period because nobody could deal with what it came with to have a black player on your team at the time. They just, for whatever reason, weren't intelligent enough to let that be a reality. And he had to pave the way. And like a lot of things you see, the people that, you know, did rhythm and blues don't get the credit they deserve for rock and roll music. There's a lot of people that don't get the credit they deserve, but with the information age we're in right now, we can put an end to that and start raising awareness about stuff like this. So it was a pretty cool opportunity. I got to do this song about Bud Fowler, and I'm willing to get into it, or This is a Alicia Myers sample, recommended by Alan Action. He had this vision in his head, and this song's called Showed the Way. There's a lot of information about Bud Fowler's life. I did research on him, so check it out. Yeah. Yo, Bud Fowler dealt with enough doubters, wondering how we handle corrupt power. That's why we gotta give credit and heavy props to him, cause the first black player wasn't Jackie Robinson. Did you know that? Neither did I. Turns out this whole time we believed in a lie for so long. That's why we're doing this song, cause of what he's overcome, and the truth is it's wrong. Yo, for the road you paved, and the hope that you gave, for the bold and brave, for the souls you saved. It's a shame that your story's never told to praise. Yo, for the hope you gave, and the road that you paved, for the bold and brave. So we chose today to bestow how you played, cause you showed the way, cause he deserves all the acknowledgement and homage. I'm proud that we left all his accomplishments forgotten. Bud Fowler, born John W. Jackson, in Fort Plain, New York, is it what happened? 1878, he went to the majors, first African-American professional player, May 17th, for the Little Live Oaks against Ontario at only 20 years old. Yo, for the road you paved, and the hope that you gave, for the bold and brave. Yo, for the souls you saved, it's a shame that your story's never told or praised. Yo, for the hope you gave, and the road that you paved, for the bold and brave. Yeah, so we chose today to bestow how you played, cause you showed the way. From town to town, had to bounce around, all because the skin that's under his brow was brown, but never found a frown or get down. And now, cause on the mound he'd astound and go pound for pound with any professional when putting games to excel, both as a pitcher and position player as well. But yet it never seemed to lower his self-esteem, and ended up playing on over a dozen teams. Ontario, New Orleans, man, has played with separate teams in 70 states from Maine to Texas. Plus not to mention how it often gets, every day faced with awful taunts and threats, respected but rejected cause they're threatened by his essence, objected to his presence and eventually protested, and treated as if he ain't equal again. Agent 81 dropped before the season began. Forfeiters and sinners who act bitter cause they'd rather be acquitted than lose to a black pitcher. And there's just a little glimpse of what he's been through. Damn, imagine if that would have been you. Never deferred, always worked and persevered through the worst that he's endured through a 30-year career. Yo, for the hope you gave, and the road that you paved, for the bold and brave. Yeah, for the souls you saved, it's a shame that your story's never told or praised. Yo, for the hope you gave, and the road that you paved, for the bold and brave. So we chose today to bestow how you play, cause you showed the way. From being mistreated, even fine with fees, to spending time in the Negro and minor leagues with white players acting Fowler and kinda refusing to participate with Fowler in the lineup. Instead of prejudice, giving his mind raised, the same you won 4 straight games in 5 days was paved the way. Not much later there would be an 87 up to 7 color players in the league, from Moses Fleetwood Walker to Frank Grant. But that's when segregation and taking a plain stance drew a color line out of hatred and deceit, unofficially banning all color players from the league. Then out of necessity made it his dream to manage his own black pro baseball team. The Page Fence Giants, who would play with the pros and end up winning 82 straight games in a row to blatantly show they clearly could compete with each other. Never knew this through the lack of certain media coverage. And this persisted for 50 years, unbeknownst, but for most it could bring to tears. But through the pain he uncovered a lane, which others have came and did it for the love of the game. Just to show that your shade of skin shouldn't matter if you're great and you play to win. Yeah, for the hope you gave, and the road that you paved, for the bold and brave. For the souls you saved, it's a shame that your story's never told or praised. Yo, for the hope you gave, and the road that you paved, for the bold and brave. Yeah, so we chose today to bestow how you play, cause you showed the way. Yeah, make some noise for Bud Fowler. If you didn't know about it, actually, how about this? Raise your hand if you heard about Bud Fowler. Did anybody know about Bud Fowler before today? All right, we got a couple people. Well, we're in Fort Plain. I would hope this would be the one spot where we do have people. We haven't found anybody who's known him everywhere we've gone. So it's good to know there's some people that are aware of it. Spread the word, man. Spread the story. Hopefully there'll be a documentary or some kind of movie about this guy's life. And other people amongst him, like Moses Fleetwood Walker and Frank Grant, who I mentioned in the song. Those are just 2 of like hundreds of African-American players who played before Jackie Robinson at a pro level. It's kind of crazy. So check it out. And then at the Hall of Fame, I actually got the Bud Fowler book I'm reading now, finding out new information about him. He worked as a barber between games because he wasn't making much money, as you could imagine, because he wasn't allowed to really play half the time. So he had to be a barber with his father, humbly, between games. And this is like one of the greatest players of all time. But that just shows you where people were coming from when they played that sport back then. It wasn't about contracts and money at all. It was about just let me play, let me get on that field every single day. I wanted to be on the field. That's how I feel like with this microphone. So I can relate in a little bit of a way, being a white boy in this game. But what he went through is incomparable. But check it out, man. Great story, Bud Fowler. I'm glad I met Al in action. Otherwise, I would still be thinking Jackie Robinson going to City Fields. They have, you know, they give him his praise. This guy does not get any. I just think there should be a little bit more of a balance, that's all. Not to take away from Jackie at all, but just, we need to include this man, that's all. Okay? Yeah, hell yeah, let's go Bud. Could I get from crowd participation for this next track? Would that be something? I don't normally ask the crowd to do anything, because I hate when people are like, put your hands up for me, make some noise, like, you know what I mean? Make it for Bud, don't do it for me. But this, if I could just ask you to repeat this one line, you can't stop the funk. When I say you can't stop the funk, you just say you can't stop the funk back. It's that simple. I haven't done the song in a while, but Alan hasn't heard this, so it should be fun. All right, so we'll do a little practice run right here. Real quick. Yo, you can't stop the funk. You can't stop the funk. He's got it. You can't stop the funk. Don't be scared, you can't stop the funk. Yo, I wrote 1,000 rhymes off 1 penny. Rock mad crowds by choice and sung medleys. Patient with impeccable poise and done plenty. With 1 mic as 1 voice among many. Enough tough-ish, stop the fights, brothers. Use it to uplift, not despite others. But can't lie, most my music is anti. Cause life's too short to do things you don't stand by. So I'll lyrically and politically spit. Consistently staying linguistically and physically fit. Spiritually sync to the universe's energy shift. Sensory glitch witnessed during the December eclipse. My memory's built for rap. Studied an A student, stay true, I don't make money, I make music. We spit with more depth, fly than myself. This rhyme is like a protest ride in itself, you can't stop.